there are outside messes. We've talked a lot about that tonight. And there are inside messes. So this story is about an inside mess. I don't want to go. Stop asking me. My good-hearted, silver-haired mother was calling for the third time that morning to convince me to go see my father before he had open-heart surgery. I hadn't seen my father in 5 years, and the last time we were in the same room together, it did not go well. My mother was tenacious. I'm just concerned that you're going to always regret it if something happens to your father and you didn't make things right with him. I didn't make things wrong. I hear her sigh. Okay, I know your dad's been difficult and things have been pretty mucked up. But no matter how mucked up things get, redemption is possible. I think you're being overly optimistic, Mom. She persisted. I'm worried about your soul if you don't go. Well, I didn't want my mom worried about my soul the rest of her life if my dad didn't make it through surgery. 2 hours later, I'm sitting stiffly alert in a straight-back chair in a private hospital room, watching my father sleep in front of me. He's long in the bed at 6'4", still handsome with almost all black hair, just a little gray at the temples. His body under the white blanket looks as strong and sturdy as it ever did. Looking at him, a memory pops up of me at 6 years old, curled into a ball in a dark closet behind musty-smelling clothes, my knees up to my chest, my head on my knees, crying, hiding from one of my father's angry outbursts. My brain jumps back into the present. I look at my father sleeping. I think, fine, I can tell Mom I got here. It's not my fault he wasn't awake. As I go to turn the handle to leave, I hear behind me, Rosemarie, is that you? I walk back to the chair, I sit down, I stare at the floor. My dad doesn't waste any time. I'm so glad you came. I haven't always been kind. I know that. It's been a learning process for me. He pushes his hand out toward me from under the blanket. Do you think you could give me another chance? I stare at his hand. Another flashback. 4-year-old me twirling around, feet on soft green grass, barefoot, arms outstretched, looking up at the blue sky, laughing while my father sings to me, fa-la-dee-a-dee-a, 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 Lord. I don't realize, as I'm having this memory, I'm singing the song out loud. My dad starts to chuckle. You remember that song? I used to sing that to you when you were little. He pushes his hand a little closer toward me. Do you think there's any way you could give me another chance? 4-year-old me wants to say yes. She longs to be connected and feel alive again. 6-year-old me says, no way. She believes she needs to keep separate to stay safe. My mother's voice drops into my head. One thing she said to me was, I really think there's a lot of love in both of you trying to get out. I look at my dad's hand. He starts to take it away, and then, not for my mother, not for my father, but for me. I reach out, I take his hand in both of mine, and I say, yes. And it turned out my dad got through surgery, and my mom was right. No matter how mucked up things get, redemption is always possible.